All right, Geoff, who's the best value play for the 2-game classic slate?
Yeah, I mean, Matt kind of alluded to this, but like there's just value kind of everywhere. Like, I don't think you're going to have problems identifying like cheap players to go to here. I mean, I think Zach Ertz is kind of a must in this spot, just for the simple fact that I know he's the most expensive tight end, but he's also under 5K. And I think he's a must just for the fact that Arizona is I think has a very good shot of being behind in this game. And the Colts are a very big funnel to the pass defense, specifically through the middle, where they just don't cover tight ends. They've allowed the bottom 3 in terms of receptions allowed to the tight end position. So when you're looking at tight end, there's some really cheap guys like Degura from Green Bay, Jack Doyle even on the other side. But I think you absolutely just need to pay down for Zach Ertz. And again, at under 5K, like you could go double tight end if you really want to, but he to me is like the best pure value on the board. I think if you want to go really cheap, you can go with like the Green Bay receiver, like an Allen Lazard as well, to get a little bit contrarian. But every other value play on the board just to me reeks of kind of like very, very boom or bust. Whereas Ertz at under 5K is like a very, very pure value that I think has a great floor here.
All right, Matt, best value play.
So I think the most underpriced player is actually Jonathan Taylor. He's 8,300, and I think he deserves to be well over 9K. But to give an actual value play, I think, like Geoff said, Michael Pittman and Allen Lazard specifically, who we mentioned, those guys, like they're not expensive enough to, and I think there are a bunch of Cardinals guys because DeAndre Hopkins is out that like these guys are all underpriced. So I'll go a little off the board and give one that I think will be pretty contrarian, and that's Antoine Wesley, who most people may not have heard of on the Cardinals. Rondale Moore actually got hurt during last week's game against the Lions. My guess is he'll play, but he didn't play much wide receiver. He may not have even gotten a single wide receiver snap in the second half. Wesley was the guy playing the slot with AJ Green and Christian Kirk out there. So if that trend continues, he's only a $3,000 receiver. And if it is true that the Cardinals are behind in this game and need to pass more, you'll see more of these 3 receiver sets. So I think there are a ton of value plays that are worth looking at, but Wesley could be one who's way down there at 3K that people just kind of overlook.
All right, Reid, hit me with some value.
Yeah, I mean, Geoff does his Geoff thing where he mentions every single player on the slate. So the element of surprise is sort of out there. But yeah, Allen Lazard, and Matt did it as well. Allen Lazard is one of those guys, right, because of the injuries. But I'm surprised that Geoff didn't mention his boy, Chase Edmonds. Like, he mentions Chase Edmonds on every single show when it's a main slate. And this time he just didn't, right? And I get it, right? He's coming back from injury. He's kind of getting worked into it. Kyler Murray is doing a little bit more. The one thing that scares me, though, about Chase Edmonds, even though he's underpriced, in my opinion, is that the Colts don't bring a lot of pressure. They don't bring a lot of pressure. They don't bring a lot of blitzes either. So I do think that opens up the lanes for a guy like Zach Ertz. And Kyler's not necessarily going to have to run that much, right? And they don't play a lot of man. So I do think this is going to be a passing attack from Arizona. But if I'm going to do that, and there's a guy that's under 5K that I really like, it's Chase Edmonds.